Save the Semantics, episode 154. It is September 26, 2021. My name is Myro. This is the podcast where I ramble on for a little bit about some shit. Yeah. Talk about whatever's going on, what's on my mind, how I'm doing, that sort of thing. It is a weekly or bi-monthly podcast or monthly podcast or biannual podcast sometimes, just depending on how I'm feeling, whether I feel like I have anything to say, that sort of thing. But yeah, we're keeping up. We did one last week, and we're doing one this week. So just a little minor pat on my back for that, I guess. Just little accomplishments here and there. You have to congratulate yourself. You have to give yourself some grace here and there, and just and give yourself some praise once in a while. Such as talking to yourself for half an hour, once a week. And if you're able to do that, you're able to progress and grow as a person. Anyways, no, I'm not. I don't want to downplay it by any means, but I'm happy that I'm keeping up. Again, I also don't want to force myself to just do these because I feel like it's like an obligation. I want to do them because I want to do them. I don't want it to make it feel like a chore or anything like that. Because once it starts feeling that way, then it's like, well, what the fuck? What the fuck's the point? That's why. That's why I don't know. Obviously, I don't. This isn't really anything that's gonna be developing anytime soon. But if I wanted to make this into a more of a like a side gig or even like a career of sorts, like it just I just like it would have to be something that I genuinely enjoy doing, and I feel like it would have to be like of quality and that sort of thing, And it's there's stress, there's stresses that come from that too, right? Like monetizing your content and that sort of thing. That's a lot of work, man. What the fuck is going on? Where did I park? Jesus Christ, man. But yeah, I think once like money of some sorts is involved, it might kind of take away from my enjoyment of it. But I haven't earned a single dime doing these, so I'm not like that's obvious. That's probably not going to change anytime soon. For now, it's just it's just a hobby. It's just this thing that I like to do, and I feel like it's beneficial for me to just keep doing that. So yeah. Anyways, yeah, this has been like the first weekend in a while where I've actually had some time off, and that's been kind of nice. And I was able to kind of actually enjoy myself yesterday to an extent. Played some games, watched some stuff on Netflix and on YouTube, and just the, stay at home shit that I usually do. So that was kind of nice. I want to say that I feel relaxed, but I'm not. I can't really be in full relaxation mode yet, because I'm still going to be busy for at least the next couple of weeks. And also, like, whenever, I say that whenever I go out, I'm like out and about, like I'm sort of getting more accustomed to being in like the presence of other people, but man, I'm still not comfortable yet. Like it just still feels like kind of foreign to me, you know what I mean? Like I wish like I was like kind of be like, "Oh yeah, no, I'm cool. It's cool. I'm like mingling with people and shit, but it just it's not quite there yet, you know what I mean? I mean, it makes sense cuz like considering that I spend pretty much every single day at my house. It's very rare that I'm out and about and everything like that. I've talked about this, pretty frequently, but I just think that involving myself in other activities and that sort of thing can kind of change that and make me feel more comfortable just kind of being outside and shit, you know what I mean? But yeah, that's just sort of gonna have to be another work in progress, you know what I mean? I just wish that I didn't really like I don't get so in my head about shit and how like I appear to other people. Like I'm not it's not something that's like incredibly detrimental to like my well-being or anything like that, but still it sucks that um it sucks that it to just kind of feel that way to kind of be like uncomfortable and that sort of thing. Like it's normal, right? It makes sense considering how much time I've spent, just at my house and everything. I'm sure I'm not alone in feeling that way, but it's still it just kind of it sucks. Like I just want to feel like this is kind of a natural part of my day to day, but it just isn't. You know what I mean? So, yeah, I think it would help for me to be more social in a sense. But it's just kind of like that's work too, you know what I mean? That's work on top of what I already have going on. It takes effort to seek out like things to do, find like, different, I don't know, communities maybe. I don't know how to put it exactly, but if I were to like join like a recreational group or something like that takes effort, you know what I mean? That's like another thing, um, which is completely normal. Like it's a very normal thing to do. Um, and it used to be for me, for sure, but just things changed. So yeah, I don't know. I think it's gonna take a little work to kind of make myself comfortable in settings where there's other people involved. You know what I mean? Like, um, yeah, it's gonna take a little bit for sure. Anyways, what else has been going on? I've been enjoying some media, I guess you could say. Um, I've been playing. What have I been playing? I've been playing a lot of Rocket League. I've been playing some Smash, Slay the Spire. Those are kind of like the three that are in rotation. I played through Chapter 1 of Deltarune. I can't believe that shit is free, man. That's amazing. It's a full-on game, basically. Um, Deltarune is a sequel to Undertale, which is a game that I love very much. I played that back in high school on my laptop. I remember playing that in class sometimes. But yeah, that was an amazing experience. So I was looking forward to the sequel, and I think I know Chapter One's been out for a little while now, maybe like a few years even, and they just released Chapter 2. So I was like, you know what, might as well get on top of that. So I just played the first chapter yesterday. I played through that all of it yesterday, and I think I'll play a little bit today. But we'll see. I think the I don't want to give too much away of the story, but the Toby Fox says it's not like a direct sequel to Undertale, but it very much feels like one. You know what I mean? Like like isn't like I think it's gonna get like explained obviously once the story wraps up, but he says it's not a direct sequel. Like it, how is it not a direct sequel? Like it just there are like the recurring characters and the world is very similar. Like it feels maybe not very similar, but it just kind of I don't know. It's very interesting, but like it's sort of like set in like an alternate universe of sorts. But it's like it feels like a complete sequel to the first game. So I don't know. Is it not? Like I'm just a little confused by that. But yeah, um, I'm excited to kind of keep going forward. Um, the ending of chapter one was very interesting. Kind of threw me in for a loop there. I was like, yo, what the fuck? Um, I think you know once you've played like the original game, you're kind of going into this one with like some expectations. So I think Toby is smart and creative enough to where he's gonna throw in some wrenches in like the story and everything. Like I don't it's not gonna be the same as the first game where like you have the pacifist, you have the genocide, and you have like the neutral roots, right? Like I think there's gonna be a change in that. So far, I've I was like going into this game, I'm like I'm with the mindset, and the game explicitly tells you like the characters explicitly tell you, hey, if you if you spare your enemies, similar to the first game, you're gonna be held more in favor for you're gonna get essentially like the good ending of sorts, right? But I don't think it's gonna be as sort of straightforward as that. You know what I mean? I think it's gonna be a little different just based on like the ending of the first chapter. I think that it's gonna be um, the way the story progresses, the way you make your decisions in the game are gonna it's gonna be different to um yeah, like it's not gonna be as simple as sparing every enemy. I don't think. I think there's gonna be some switch ups coming up. So I'm kind of looking forward to that and seeing how that's gonna be kind of integrated in the story. But so far I'm enjoying it. I think the first chapter it was sort of expected, maybe sort of like it has a very similar like through line as like the original story and how that kind of wraps up, especially if you do like the pacifist route. um so it's like, okay, well, this is sort of like expected. It's very it's very no like real crazy, you know not too much crazy shit has happened, except for, you know, just going into the second chapter. But yeah, uh, I'm looking forward to it. It's always I like the battle system. I like how he kind of switched it up a little bit with including two other party members on your team. I like the I like the music. The music is fantastic as always. Um, and the characters are interesting for sure. Um, he does borrow some, characteristics from the other characters from the first game and kind of incorporates it into this one with sort of like the new additions. But yeah, I have like I'm sort of like I'm thinking about sort of this story right now, and it's very interesting. And I have some theories. Maybe I'll do like a little spoiler review of sorts once I get through like chapter 2. But I have some, unless the ending of chapter 2 kind of like explicitly states what what this story is actually about. But I have I have like a few theories on what exactly is like going on in this like universe, because it again, I know he says it's not a direct sequel, but I don't know. I think that might be kind of like a, not a lie, not a straight up lie, but it's sort of like it's trying to kind of what's the word? Uh, damn it, what's the word? Trying to mislead you. You know what I mean? So yeah, I'm kind of I'm looking forward to kind of going through that. And just listening to that soundtrack too. It's so good, man. I just like, I remember playing the first game, and like some back in back in high school, back in like 20 was it 2015 2014 2015 when I played it. And I just remember just like you know being stuck on like a boss and stuff, but not really being too upset by it because just the music is so good, you know what I mean? So yeah, so looking forward to that. I started watching Squid Game on Netflix. I've only seen like the first like 10-15 minutes. So, there's not really a whole lot that I can really say, but I'm interested in kind of seeing how like the story develops and everything like that. I wanted to make this comment because I kind of found it interesting on the just based on the types of Korean movies and shows that I've seen. I think it's interesting that the main male character is always portrayed as like this loser, like he's a loser, he's like down on his luck and shit like that. Like it's always like interesting how they do that. Old boy, the very beginning, he's like an alcoholic. Um, he's at like the police station, right? He's kind of just losing his shit. Um, what else? There's what was that movie? The Host. It was the one like alien sea monster movie where like the dad is kind of a loser and he just doesn't really have his shit together. There's a lot of examples that are like that, which I kind of find interesting. I don't know. I guess it's sort of just like a trope with that type of media. Um, but I mean, it tells a compelling story, right? Like all of these movies are very interesting on their own. But I just thought it was like kind of an interesting thing to make note of. Like it's not like it's not like anything crazy unique, but I just thought it was like interesting how all of the not all, but like a lot of what I've seen from um these types of movies and shows is that they portray their hero of sorts as kind of this loser who's he's like a single father and he doesn't have his shit together. um he's broke. Like it's just always like it always like starts off that way, you know what I mean? So yeah, interesting how that works. um what else? What else? Been listening to a lot of music. Oh shit, I almost dropped my phone. Been listening to a lot of music during work, which has been nice. Nothing. I haven't really discovered any like new artists this week, but I'm always kind of keeping my eyes open, my ears and eyes open for just some good stuff. I think so far Spotify's been worth it for the most part. Um, Again, I already complained about their UI like recently, but yeah, I think it's cool that I've been able to discover a lot of new music, and kind of been just enjoying my time with that. Anyways, I don't know what that was about, but I think that's gonna be it for this week. Not a whole lot to talk about. Just wanted to kind of discuss some of the things that I've been seeing, some of the things that I've been experiencing, how I'm doing, the usual stuff. But yeah, this has been Save the Semantics, signing off.